With us. Let's also go across to Colonel Rohit Dev, who joins us on the broadcast. Colonel Dev, good morning. Thank you for joining us. To begin with, we're also given to understand that this report particularly talks about the fact that, with the military postures that essentially are being adopted by India and China across the line of control, there could be a threat of an elevated sort of a situation emerging, and thereafter, the report talks about a direct intervention from the United States to protect its interests. Now, what do you think that essentially alludes to?
See, there are two things to look at the prism from, two sides. The first is the American interest and second is the Indian interest. So I'll cover the latter first. The Indian interest is not to escalate any war front, and it is also not in the interest of even China. And when we see our two neighbors, Pakistan and China, with Pakistan we have acquired a very fair degree of deterrence value, and also have acquired a very high degree of dominance, so to say, in terms of diplomatic realm, economic realm, and military realm. And also, when late Parikar ji was there, we also called out Pakistan's bluff by saying that we will not abide by the no first use of the nuclear weapons. So that puts Pakistan aside. There is no escalation feasible unless the rogue state does something stupid, and it is going to pay a very heavy price for that from the Indian side. Now, coming to China, the escalation has gone in a very measured way, right from the Doklam era, through the Changthang exercise, through the Galwan era. And today, as the field formation commanders, which I know of, and they are deployed there, there's a very mature set of heads there which know how to control the escalation dynamics. They know how to not, let the Chinese have their will, and they know how to push back. And we have seen that through a series of dialogues at various levels, including military and border talks. And I don't think so this low-level friction is going to spiral anytime soon, unless it's a provocation, and I have my fears around it, to measure up to the upcoming general elections in our country. And that is where you will find a sort of a game being played by China at that time. And that is when the political realm here in India will come under some stress and strain. And that is the time the military has to be more prepared. But the military is more prepared today after Galwan because we've been able to reposture our forces, picking them up from the Pakistani front and putting a lot of forces on the front along the LAC, where India guards its interest from the incursion of the Chinese from the Tibetan plateau. So I think that is where it is. Coming to the American side, yes, they talk about their interest, which I agree to and allude to, but the larger interest of the Americans is to arm the country and get the defense contracts based on our Atmanirbhar posture. There are many countries vying for those slots. They have helped us with a lot of aviation assets in the last 2 or 3 years or more. And these assets are coming very handy for deployment and redeployment of troops and weapon systems along the LAC. So from that perspective, it is good. But I don't think so. It's going to be a nature of a China-India conflict in the near future. And even if that happens, U.S. is not going to intervene. I don't see U.S. forces being deployed to target the Chinese because we don't have even in the 2+2 realm of partnership to have military interferences. So I don't think that that's a feasibility currently. And it's more from the point of view of, these congressional reports which come every year. They are also designed to posture and push for diplomatic relations in a certain course. They're also meant for their defense industry to prep up their entire preparation and efforts across the globe. So it's part of that assessment. Indian diplomacy is very mature today to be able to handle China, and I think it's in Chinese interest also to remain calm along the LAC of the illegal transgressions through the Tibetan plateau, and that's the way we are going to look at it in the future.
All right. So Colonel Rohit Dev over there joining us on the broadcast. Thank you, Colonel Dev, for that.